It's another beautiful day on the program Woman to Woman. I'm Adesuwa Osa-Uwagie, the adorable. The other time we came on air to ask a question, does having a child define who a woman should be? And we had all sorts of response from people. Some persons were like, yes, others were like, no, some were indifferent. But adventure, you're one of those women who is wondering how to juggle your career, your family life, and all of that together, and wondering what to do. Particularly when, so in some organizations, they tell you, no, you can't have kids now until after working for us for so years, that. It still happens. And a lot of women are refusing juicy, good jobs because of childbearing. Now, here is the good news. I won't break it, but somebody's in the studio who is going to tell you the good news on how you can do all of these and still have a beautiful life as a woman. She is a consultant embryologist. She is a fertility expert. She's been in the business for years. And she has recorded quite a number of successes. She's a motivation speaker. She's a lecturer par excellence. She's a mom. She's a wife. And of course, she is a woman of so many parts. I've never seen where a woman will comfortably sit down, keep studying, and then at the end of the day, she's having over 40 certification. So she's, in fact, I'm jealous of that. Let me not see all of that, okay? So join me as I make welcome Dr. Mrs. Tunica Oluyori. She is an embryologist par excellence, and she's going to talk to us today. And she's the CMD of Tunica Fertility Center in Abuja, also in Benin, and in Asaba. So you can see that her hands are very full, and she's here to talk to you, that woman who thinks that, oh, I've come to the end of the road. No, you have not. You are just starting. So join me as I make welcome this beautiful, quintessential, and adorable woman. Hello, Doc. It's been a while. You abandoned me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You've been so busy.
Okay.
Yes, responding to human needs.
Okay.
And then what you need as human sacrifice. You have to be available.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm glad to be here again to speak more about you being a mother or being a woman in the society.
Okay. So talk to us. Before we came on air, you were talking to me about freezing the eggs, particularly for career women. Nowadays, the kind of job we'll do, some persons will say, no, you work with us, juicy jobs, but you won't have kids until like 2-3 years and all of that. And some women are refusing, not because they're not qualified, but because they are in between the devil and the deep rested, so to speak.
Yes.
You want to make a family, and then you want to do this job. So talk to us about this egg freezing.
Yes, coming up with egg freezing, it's hope for all women, especially in the setup in African culture. I will start with, let's say, Nigeria.
Good. Well, Nigeria.
Yes, where when infertility actually affects anyone, it's always the woman. And you see that sometimes a woman is the breadwinner in a home. And she wants to be a mother. She also wants to pursue her career, further have promotions or achievements. But because in between, like we said, between the devil and the deep blue sea, she will have to decide if she wants to remain to be a mother or she wants to pursue a career. Now, age is one factor.
Another factor.
Yes, that we can use to estimate this. Egg freezing, and some people say, is it freezer or something that you do? No, it's also a way in assisted reproductive technology, ART, where IVF and other methods you use to provide services to one to have a good offspring. So it's better that some women, yes, they are old. Age is a factor, like I said earlier. Well, at your peak of fertility, it starts within let's say from 25 years. And you can have about 50% of you getting pregnant so easily.
Okay, from
and
25.
As you age, yes, as you age, let's say between 35 down to 40, the ovarian reserve begins to decline. Before now, let's say 40 years. Then from 40, the numbers again further decline, and you have about 5% of you ever getting pregnant.
Just 5?
Yes, just 5%, once from 40 years. That is with good researches and significant reasons. Now, a woman who has a very good job, paraventure, like, let's say she's a banker who works between 7 a.m. to like 8 p.m.
Sure.
35 years, 36 years, you know.
Even broadcasters, sometimes we do 24 hours.
Yes. They do a lot, and by the time they get home, they're tired. And you see your mother-in-law, you know, chasing after you. They will tell you, you have to choose between having children for my son, or you face this. Or the husband is like, if you know you want to have a child, you need to drop this job because I don't have time for you.
Sure.
Or rather, you don't have time for me and you have more time. So I'm bringing to you that egg freezing for any woman, married or unmarried,
okay,
that there's hope for you.
Okay.
Yes. What we do is that we go into much more advocacy where women are told about how they can go about this egg freezing.
Egg freezing.
Yes. You see, most women will tell you, or men or family, that I'm waiting on the Lord.
Sure.
Yes. God gave us this knowledge too. Yes. At 35, you're like, no.
You know, we faith everything in this, our country.
Yes.
We faith everything.
Yes. So from that 35 years, you're like, no, God is going to do it. Sarah was more than 80 years and then she got pregnant. Just look at me.
But of course, there's no Sarah amongst us anymore.
Technology has really changed a lot of things.
Now, what does this process entails? The process of freezing?
Yes. The availability of a woman, like I said, from 20, 40, 41, 42. But before you would think about even freezing, you have to do investigations.
Okay.
To check the full hormonal profile of a woman.
Of the woman.
Yes. Once we see that our ovarian reserve is still very okay, then we go ahead, stimulate, that's getting injectables, to get these eggs out.
Okay.
In the past, how many years when IVF came to be, we don't usually freeze oocytes. That is the beginning of the eggs, even before they are fertilized.
Okay.
But now, with expertise and then researches, we have been able to freeze oocytes, which are eggs, for the future. Even if you decide to say, okay, I've not seen any good man that I want to get married to, I want to pursue my career, you can come in, we do that kind of investigation, you are qualified. We go ahead and remove these eggs and
from the woman.
Yes, from the woman, and do the process of freezing.
Is it through surgery?
No,
surgical thing?
No, it's a transvaginal way of going through a woman's reproductive system. Okay. Yes, we stimulate you and then you check both ovaries if they're responding. Because a woman, you have left and right ovary. Sure. Some of them are blocked, that's why some do IVF. So now when we see all this popping out, we look at the hormonal profile, and then by the time we remove, we're looking at it that, yes, these are good quality eggs. Okay. And once this is done, we know, okay, she doesn't have a husband. She actually just came to freeze her eggs for the future. That maybe she wants to go pursue like a PhD, or she already have a divided home, even at a very early age. And the best for her is that she has a gene that she will keep for the next 10, 15 years. That is the hope for them. You can keep it, you can pursue your career, you can actually, in fact, anybody have, like, let's say in your business, you will be more productive. Okay. Yes, because you won't want to lose your good job. You can't be working in Chevron and your husband is like, I don't see you, you're always in the ring in 2 weeks' time, you are out, so I have to go pregnant another woman. And if you keep having your mind on that issue, yes, you know, the weight is there, you are thinking, should I quit this job? That's where egg freezing comes in. Makes you more relaxed. More relaxed that if your husband understands, that's fine. But if he doesn't, you go keep your eggs so that you don't lose any. You don't lose the good man, or you don't lose the bad man, but you don't lose the job either. But you know that genetically you have proven something there. Even at 40, 45, there's still nobody to come. You are still fit, and then you don't have a very bad underlying image. Yes. Good. You will know that, yes, something somewhere that you pay over the years to keep it is there.
How long can eggs be frozen?
As long as you can. It can be 10, 15, 20 years. That's how you can actually move to say, yes, I know at the end of the day, I have something to tell the world.
So after freezing those eggs, how can the woman reuse those eggs?
Reuse? Okay, yes,
can
okay,
she
fine.
use the eggs again?
Yes. Okay, now, let's say she's already, she has frozen the eggs, and she's ready, even if she's 50. And we see that we've done some scans, and the lady, she's okay. Then we have to thaw them. It's like you put in like chicken in the freezer, and once you want to use it, you bring it out.
Yeah.
But it's not something, you have to take a good decision before we say we have to remove it from where we actually freeze it in a tank of where we have what we call liquid nitrogen under a degree of minus 196.
Okay.
That can easily burn your hands. So when she says she's ready, we put our medications like tablets to regulate her messes, no matter the age. We correct that, and then we begin to build where we have to implant the baby. Now she comes and says, okay, yes, I'm ready, but I don't have a husband. Then we give you a profile. Some of them will tell you Caucasian sperm. Okay, I want my child.
This is where sperm donors come in.
Yes, you can see sperm donors, but then you see Nigerian women, classic.
We're very cultural people.
Yes,
and very religious too.
Yes, and then so checking the profile, you choose the man that you want, and then she checks. Okay, I need a white man's sperm. It's possible. So we bring them out, fertilize, and then prepare the one to the transfer at any time that she's ready, even if she's 60 years old.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, now let's look at the issue of women with cancer.
Yes.
With the little research I did recently, I discovered that the chemo, the radiotherapy, or whatever therapy the woman avails herself to, sometimes it kills some cells in the woman. Now let's look at, say, a woman of 28 thereabouts who has maybe cancer of the breast or
lung
whatever cancer.
Baby,
yes, and she's undergoing chemotherapy or any other therapy. Can the woman use this? How can this benefit the woman?
Good. If you see that you are unmarried and it was discovered you have like breast cancer, lung cancer, and like you said now, it destroys a lot of cells. You don't have to lose it all.
Okay.
It can be saved for your family to remember you in case maybe the degree of where the cancer level has gone to.
Okay.
If you can diagnose that, the next thing you should think is, okay, if I die on earth because of where we come from in Africa, I think my family should have something to remember me. You have the funds, you quickly visit an IVF center with good expertise, people, not just where, so that you can generate a baby. Not just anyhow places. You have to do good research to go to one of the best IVF centers and tell them your story. Before chemotherapy, we have to stimulate you and remove those eggs and preserve it for you. You are lucky enough, you undergo the chemotherapy and then you feel good and everything is okay. Then we go ahead, prepare you, and then you give birth. Or peradventure, something happens along the way. You have kept your eggs, and then the person loses. There are questionnaires like forms you fill, next of kin or guarantors that people you can trust to say, oh, I'm dying, and I have my eggs somewhere. It gives us hope. Like a man that actually came to my center from America, and the wife, he's like, let's freeze his sperm because he doesn't live here. He just comes to visit the woman and go. And she's more than 36, 37. I'm like, lady, I think you need to do this. And she called the man back when he returned. He's like, tell the lady, I don't want to freeze my sperm anymore. I'm going to come meet you in December. And the lady actually came to me and like, my husband says no, so we cannot afford to continue to pay every 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. We have the money, but he says it's going to come. I looked at her within me. I'm like, this lady doesn't really know what she's talking about. Because you are 35 years old, this man may decide not to even come to Nigeria for another 3 years, and that she's busy. Well, it's unfortunate, the man died.
Oh my word.
Oh yes. Presently, she's pregnant with that sperm that we froze.
That is the husband's sperm?
Yes. If not, she will lose the man, or his genetic background is gone. And, you know, having been the only son, the parents are so happy. That is the way I look at women. You don't need to go that far. Yes, you have cancer. Why not? It depends, like I said, the stages. You quickly have to remove those eggs and freeze, not embryos. Embryos are different from the oocytes, which are eggs. Embryo fertilization with the sperm and egg, yes, you can freeze that one too. Like you have taken in one, you say, okay, I want to pursue another career, another 5 years. You go back to the IVF center, you prepare yourself again with thaw, we call it thawing, and return it back to the same shape it's supposed to be, and transfer it back into the womb.
What's the success rate?
Oh my God, it's a 60 to 70%. And you renew every year. Or if you want to pay in as long as you can for like 5 years, it's a choice.
I'm sure it's quite expensive.
Well, it's affordable. Because I'm a woman too, I know IVF medications are really expensive. But the aim is saving women and serving humanity.
You know, in this part of the world, it's just only a few people that are embracing IVF and all of that. But even as that is, some persons will still frown at it, that IVF children, all those children are better children. So, you know, people still talk about it, that test tube babies, would they be intelligent? Would they be normal? Would they act like normal children? That question is still hanging in some areas. Then, talking about freezing eggs now, you know, a lot of person will be like, we're doing IVF that you're doing almost immediately. Now you're freezing eggs for so many years. What is the chance that that egg would produce viable to produce good and healthy children?
Yes, we call it, like I said, cryopreservation. Yeah. Cryopreservation is both for male and female. Like, okay, you are asking the question of, okay, how long it will be, all right? Like I said earlier, as long as you can. You're at the peak at which you know something is wrong with you. Even at 35, 36, maybe you are actually going out with someone and then doing like unprotected sex, and you're not getting pregnant. And before you know it, maybe you have, you know, you separate. Maybe because the guy knows that I've been like having this lady for some time.
I wasn't playing over the back.
Yes, and nothing is happening. I think something is wrong with her. And he would not communicate properly. And she begins to think. She loses her emotional stress and then traumatic, and you know, and it affects her job. So anytime you see yourself placed at that position, between that 18, 20, 25, 30, you feel you can afford it.
Please do.
It's better for you to use it.
You know, in recent times, women are getting so depressed.
Yes.
Some are even suicidal sometimes. At least there was this banker we saw on the net who took her own life because she couldn't find a husband. She didn't have a child, and she was doing well on her job. You know, one would think that a woman who's got such a good job, why would she take her own life? You know, this issue of not having children, of not having a man, is a serious one, and it's making women depressed.
Yes.
Particularly the ones that are even married and don't have kids and are hearing stories and they don't trust their men.
Yes.
You know, the woman falls into depression.
Yes.
Would you call this process good news for that woman?
Yes, it's a good news for her.
So how do we preach to this woman to embrace
more advocacy?
Yes, the woman should embrace it. How do we tell a woman to embrace this?
Yes, you explore, you read, and then as far as we can spread this news, you have hope. Like the person you just made an example. Yeah. We don't even know whether she had any underlying ailment. Okay. And is she getting stigmatization from where she's working?
It's possible.
Good. Is she suffering from something that we don't know? We know that she couldn't really share. It must not be like maybe she didn't have a man or she didn't have a child. Because she has money. Or because the society already knows that she's rich and she has a good position, and Why would she have a child? Because she has used her womb or her eggs to do something. That's just the African mentality that we have. You won't go into details. Because when I heard about that story, I said, you can't conclude there. Even about this egg freezing. I saw lately when they said somebody died, she went to do egg freezing. I said, it's not possible. Except she went to a wrong clinic.
So it's not possible for a woman to lose her life?
No, because the process of you trying to freeze your eggs, when you get this news that there's hope for you. Yes, you don't need to, you have to, like I said, check a good IVF center where you know they can take care of you. Okay. But when all these questions came up like, no, I don't want to freeze my eggs anymore. That lady died when, I said there must be something that was not applied. Because IVF does not kill. Okay. It doesn't. Because once you are pregnant with IVF, you are like someone that just got pregnant naturally. It's just the same process, just that you were assisted. Okay? So that lady, like I said, is not, we're not totally sure. It can be from family, it can be from friends, and maybe she had an attack. But the word will conclude because they know she's rich or she doesn't have a child. I think that's what happened to that lady. So
the bottom line is advocacy is needed, just like we are doing.
Yes.
But unfortunately, a woman naturally in this setting needs the permission of a man to do all of this. There are some men that would never permit their women to do this kind of thing.
Yes.
How do we talk to that man? Even as easy as IVF is, as easy as you have described it, some men will still not keen to it.
Yes, of course.
They will tell you, they're born me naturally, I go born my own naturally, regardless of the fact that he is the one having the issue. That is, if he will admit or if he will go for investigation.
Yes, it's difficult because of the way we were brought up.
Okay.
Yes, you are growing up like a boy child, and your mother is like, oh, see that woman? Oh, he does, that man, they don't have a child. And you grew up to like 15, 18, you are still in that environment. You're like, why? You say, well, the woman has not gotten pregnant. That is the first stigmatization that enters into the offspring you are also bringing up. Because by the time that man or your boy becomes a man and he gets married and sees that first year with unprotected sex, the wife is not pregnant, the next thing he will think is the woman's fault. You have to go for investigations. But here in Africa or Nigeria, you know, there's pressure both left, right, center, even at the church. That you're looking for the fruit of the womb. Come forward. Who says so? Fruit of the womb, both men and women. You come forth. So that nobody will point any finger to. But when the husband and wife comes out to pray, you don't know that's from the man. You don't know that's from the woman. So another way to try to see if we have to reduce this is, you know, we have to educate, create a forum for all these people to understand. No matter how educated you are, some men are so clever, they have the funds, but they still don't want their wife to go through and saying that IVF babies, they're not normal. That is a lie. They are very fantastically intelligent. They are so good. And, you know, like my evidence, my children are show IVF. They are wonderful, beautiful, and super intelligent. There's nothing wrong with an IVF baby. No research will ever tell you that. That an IVF baby is very normal. So no woman should suffer silently. Of course, as a result of not having children. Yes. Try to, you know, men are difficult. Sure. To be, you know, to convince them. They'll tell you, oh, I had a child 10 years ago. It's different from now. Okay. Yes, it's different because the lifestyle you were having then, you were eating organic food. Now you have fertilizer in almost everything you're taking. And your behavioral lifestyle, you take a lot of drink, toxic, illicit drugs, and this affects you. But you want to post that 10 ladies have given me you know, children, but I did a lot of abortions and all. So come on, something is wrong with you. You are the one to go. No, all you women, you know, don't take yourself so low. You are not a non-entity. If you have your brain, there's a way you can talk to your husband. Sure. If not, you think fast so that we can preserve your oocytes, which are your eggs, on time. You can meet your family. if the man refuses, so that in the future, if they have to push you out, you already know that you are not going to lose on both sides. You already know that, yes, somewhere I ran without the consent, of the husband. But then you can have a family friend that you can, can talk to. Because you have been trying to talk to your husband, it's not working. Then you find a way so that you remain in the marriage, in as much as it's in a circumstance, okay, let's go. You will know you won't lose anything. Because by the time maybe you marry at 28, and it's like after 50 years, let's say, no, you're not 58 years. You will not say, okay, let's go for IVF. If you had so much as at that time,
to save your eggs.
Your eggs are still there at a very special time, and you go back prepare and return it back into the womb. So you don't lose anything at all.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, this is a clarion call for you as a woman. There's no point in you dying in silence when it comes to having a good job or keeping your good job and also deciding to get children and all of that. Okay, so this is good news. Dr. Tunica Cleopatra, that's the name I've been trying to remember. Dr. Tunica Cleopatra Oluyori is here, and she has told us everything that we need to know. Thank you, Doctor, for finding time to be with us, okay?
Thank you, thank you.
All right, we'll see you again soon enough. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.